So Kian's history, he was born premature. They seen pretty early on that he had some sort of a genetic condition, so they started testing. But to this day, we still don't have a diagnosis. When he was around 3 years old, they noticed during an eye exam that there seemed to be a mass behind his left eye. And when they took him down for surgery, it actually came about that it was just a lot of blood that had been leaking out of vessels in his eye and had congealed over the years. So that started off the main pathway of what's happened. So they noticed that he had really leaky blood vessels in his eye. So they did an MRI scan and they found that he also had those in his brain, his liver, his gut and his bowel. For a little while, there wasn't a lot going on. There was some learning difficulties like autism and ADHD. But then when he was 6, he had a small fall and broke his femur bone, his left femur. And they noticed then as well that his bones aren't as developed as they should be for a child of his age. When he was 7, so 9 months after he broke his femur the first time, he had 3 strokes. And that's from the vessels in his brain leaking and bleeding. They caused 3 strokes. Unfortunately, after the 3rd stroke, he had another fall and he broke his femur again. So that was the 2nd time in 9 months. About 6, he was in hospital for a good 6 weeks because he needed surgeries, and obviously they was trying to give him IV steroids to try and help the inflammation on his brain. They let him go home for about 10 days, and then unfortunately we had to rush him back in because he was really confused. His face was really swollen, and that's when they said that the inflammation had got so severe that there was nothing more they could do for him, and they said that they would give him 6 to 12 months left to live. So we wasn't prepared to accept that, so we looked at other options. We found out about Stem Cell of America and chose them to treat our son.
Obviously pleased with how it went and everything, and then it was a bit sort of shocked at how quick it actually was.
Within just being back from the centre, maybe 3-4 hours, his energy levels just shot up. And then the next day, after he'd had a really good sleep, for a long time Kian couldn't run because of the leg breaks and because of the strokes. He was really weak, so he could walk but really slowly, and he was literally running up and down the hotel room. And we was both just staring at each other in shock. He was jumping in and out of the swimming pool. We just could, look, we was in tears because we hadn't seen our son be able to do that for 2 years. And even when we brought him home, family, friends, school, teachers, everyone kept saying, have you brought a new child home from America? Because this is just amazing, just the difference that you could see. We couldn't see what was happening in his brain before we did the MRI scan, but we could see physically that his energy was so much better, his mobility was better, his concentration, and there was less slurring with his speech. Like, it was really quite quick with the results.
It's probably the strongest he's been now for a long time.
We haven't had an MRI scan from this treatment yet, but from the ones from 2018 to 2021, there's been a massive improvement. The inflammation has really, really shrunk, and the doctors here told us that that would never happen, that they could never get it to get any better. The best they could hope for was stable. And obviously at that point in 2017, they'd only gave him 6 to 12 months left to live. So he's gone 8 years extra than they ever expected he would have.
Everything else from 2018 to now is completely different. He's so sociable with family and friends, like he will not stop talking to people.
At school they're saying he's a lot more confident with trying to answer questions, and he's focusing a lot better. So it's a whole overall picture with him. It's not just 1 or 2 things, it's just like a big picture. Anybody that is thinking about getting treatment with Stem Cell of America, I would say 1,000,000,000,000,000% you have to do it. Obviously it's hard because you don't know if it's going to work, but it does. It's worked in so many ways. I mean, we have met so many other families as well when we've been going to the clinic for Kian's treatment, and they've told us there's been a whole array of different reasons for why people are there, from Parkinson's to autism to cystic fibrosis. There's so many different things, and everybody's had such positive results. And if we hadn't have come to Stem Cell of America, we are pretty sure that our son wouldn't be here now.